Bum-ba-da-dum. Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com in the key of C. This is your home for learning how to play the guitar, the banjo, or the mandolin. I've had lots of requests recently for a bag of licks lesson for mandolin, and I've done one in the key of D, and we've done a lot of stuff in the key of G, so this one's specifically built for the key of C. I have 10 licks for you, and they're of different lengths. First couple are 1 measure apiece, then I have 4 or 5 that are 2 measures, and then 4, I think, that are 3 measures apiece. And what these are really good for is not only when you're in the key of C, but also whenever you're playing in different keys that go to a C chord. So in the key of G, it often goes to a C chord. These would make great licks to put in your solos, or my favorite thing, to fill. Okay, so if someone's singing and they go to a C chord, these are great licks to just be able to throw in to back up singers, which is a lot of fun to do. I'm going to give you a preview here of a couple of those licks, and then I ask you to go over to BanjoBenClark.com. A lot of you have, thank you, where you can become a Gold Pick member. You can download the tab for these 10 licks and also see the close to 30-minute video lesson that I have up there for this particular lesson. And I upload one of these each and every week. Okay, and I switch out banjo, mandolin, guitar. So it's well worth your money over there. Go check it out. Let's dive into these C licks. Check them out. All right, I've got 10 different C licks for you. These licks work great over the C chords, obviously, whether you're in the key of C or if you're playing a song in another key, but the rhythm goes to a C chord. You can play these licks either in solos, so you can use them to start solos or play C licks in solos, but they also work really well as fills, which one of my favorite things to do is fill whenever people are singing. And so I've got several different varieties of licks here. The first 2 that I'm going to show you are really just 1 measure in length. Okay, and then I've got 4 more licks that are 2 measures in length. And then I have 4 more licks that are considered 3 measures in length. Okay, so that gives you some variety depending on how much space you need to fill. And then you can also break these licks down. You can just grab a measure out of one and put it together with a measure of another one. Let's take a look at lick number 1 there. We're going to start off with what's called a double stop. That's just a fiddle term for playing more than 1 string at once with our index finger, our middle finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and then our index fingers up here on the 3rd fret of the A string, which is a C note. And we're going to play a quarter note first, okay? And you can either choose to kind of pull off of it to deaden that sound or leave it down. Doesn't matter. If you're playing more Monroe style stuff, it might sound cooler to kind of pop it. But we're going to play that, and then on the second beat we're going to play the same 2 notes, but then hammer up to the 7th fret with our ring finger on that D string. So it sounds like this. Okay. And then we're going to leave our middle finger down because that's where we're coming to next on the 3rd beat. And then the 3rd fret, open D string, 2nd fret, and then back to our root up there, back to that C note. So lick number 1 slowly sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And like I said, you can either chop it off or you can leave it down. Whatever you want to play. There, lick number 2. We're going to start off with our middle finger up here this time on that root C note, and we're going to then play our 5th fret down here on the D string with our ring finger. Okay, then we're going to introduce a blues note here. 1st fret of the A string, that's a B flat note, so that would be the flat 7 in C. So it just gives it a little bit of flavor here. That's the first 4 notes. Then the second 4 notes in measure 3. Okay, so we also have a slide there on the last beat of that measure. That's another blues note, sliding from the first fret of the D string to the second fret. Pay attention to your pick strokes. I have them all written out there beneath the notes. But that's another blues note, flat 3, sliding up into the major 3, and then landing on another C note down here on the G string, that 5th fret. So lick number 2 slowly sounds like this.